At the beginning of this school year, I think a challenge was so much was coming at us. It felt big, it felt heavy, and trying to look at each piece one step at a time so that it didn't overwhelm us so much that we went under.
My challenge has been being able to process and understand, say for instance, data-driven teams, and then to develop a plan with my teachers on how we're going to roll this out. So I feel like I've been learning and implementing and running at the same time.
Another challenge is developing the trust.
It wasn't initially well received. Comments like you're putting too much on our plates, we can only slow down.
People kind of want to get there right away, and it doesn't happen. It's a series of lots of discussions in order to do that.
People in DPS are working themselves to the bone, and we've got to support the work that they do. We have to find ways to strip away some of the obstacles that are in place that make the work harder than it should be.
Very overwhelming, and that's why I think a lot of us questioned what would happen 2 years out, and we're there.
You know, they're realizing I can't just keep doing things the same old way. So I've got to learn how to do things a little bit differently, and I have a bunch of resources to help me do that.
Once we broke through and understood, the ownership and the appreciation for the innovation became much more increased. Now the teachers know it, they own it, and they can shape it to meet their needs.
I really never thought that now that we're heading to the end of this school year, that all the things that we included when we were drafting the Denver plan over a year ago, we would have been able to implement.
Everybody's focused on more specific goals and where we really want the vision and the scope of our work to go in the district.
You know, at the end of last year's Principal Institute, I think the last thing we said was that we were turning the leadership of the reform of this district over to our principals, and they've seized that this year.
They reach that moment of aha, like, oh, okay, I know what this is, or they realize that they can lean on their teammates for support.
Well, we are a team, but I really run the district.
Right, and I think we generally work well together as a team because I do whatever Heinke tells me to do.
No, I think we really work together. I think we complement each other.
By coming together, we are all able to see what the expectations are for what we call the academic part of the school.
Even if it's a kindergarten classroom and I teach third grade, how can I apply something I see there to my classroom, because I can learn from anyone in the building, no matter what their role is.
When you go to professional development, you get a time to kind of look and see what other people are doing. You share some of the same experiences, or you hear some motivational or inspirational experiences.
I personally feel that all of the professional development that I participate in adds all these tricks to my bag and just makes me a better teacher in general.
And I get to be really involved in the classrooms and at the data team meetings and watching the kids learning. That feels really different than a couple of years ago.
There is a unique and compelling story that I just wish that the public would be able to come and really see what's happening, because they will see a different DPS.
Principals now from all corners of the district come together in their network meetings to really share and be collaborative and be their own professional learning community together.
I would say, first, I see a principal as a teacher of teachers. So I would still define that as what I
see a principal as a teacher or superintendent.
That too, that too. But this whole notion that they're not an administrator, they're just another educator, another teacher.
Teachers said that they needed some more intensive training about what it looks like to implement some writing strategies. So the principal contacted the instructional office, and they came down and did a 2-day training in which 40 or 50 teachers went to.
This year we did an international book sharing project with the sister city in Israel, where kids discussed the book and the Holocaust and did all kind of neat things over the internet. And it was really cool to see Bill kind of support that, and I was encouraged by the administration, and they were saying, you know, you're doing something good.
I have never worked with a group more dedicated, more committed, and that are really genuinely nice people who really care about the kids.
You know, we have never had in the past leadership that has taken time to be present in our lives, in the lives of our children, in the lives of our teaching.
That's something that's impressed me so much with the people at DPS has been their ability to do such tremendously difficult work and keep smiling and keep encouraging each other and keep the focus on students and their learning.
The kids are what make every day just so important and so special. Just the opportunity to sit down and have a conversation with a student about why they're struggling, or to have a conversation with a student who just received a scholarship and know that we have helped that kid to meet their dream. That's what it's all about.
We're the ones who are ultimately responsible for people who go out into society and make a difference. And I'm sure each and every person can remember a teacher in their past who has made a significant impact.
I am a professional educator at heart. I love working with children. I love working with people. We have some great people here in Denver Public Schools, and that motivates me every morning to want to come in to learn more.
We're going to have to communicate well with each other. We're going to have to be optimistic and transparent about what we're doing, and make sure that in the end, we're always asking and answering the same question, which is this good for the kids? And if it is, we should do it, and if it's not, we shouldn't.